The following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Everybody, welcome to our latest installment of the Hometown Football League. It is March 7th, 2022 as I record this, and we get into the second half, the business half of the HTFL season. Everybody has played 9 games. We have one team at 1-8, the Tennessee Titans. We have a bunch of teams with the best record at 7-2, Chicago, Minnesota, Cleveland, and San Francisco, all 7-2 as we go into the second half of the season. And we'll get to our game today in just a moment. But let's go over the stats after half a season. Ken Anderson is your best rated passer, 107 even. Adrian Peterson of Minnesota, 912 rushing yards. Thomas of New Orleans with 70 catches to lead everybody. Gore of San Francisco, Campbell of Houston, Dickerson of Atlanta, Jim Brown of Cleveland. They have all scored 10 touchdowns. Bailey of Dallas leads the kickers with 83 points. Julio Jones, as he did last year, leads Rod Smith of Denver with 870 receiving yards. We have Leo Namalini, Dumerville of Denver, Martin of New Orleans, all with 6 sacks. Rondé Barber leading with 5 interceptions. Urlacher of Chicago leads in tackles with 72. Cleveland is the best offense in the HTFL to this point with a 30.2 average. Minnesota, the best defense, with a 13.4. The power rankings have Cleveland ahead of Minnesota, Chicago, Cincinnati, and defending champion San Francisco is 5th. So we move on to today's game, which will be, and I have to look real close, New England and Washington is favored by 8 at home. They are 6-3. New England is 5-4. A 61-degree day at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, and we will get started with this, the 46th of 105 games we will be playing in this HTFL season. We're about 3 months behind, but we're going to get it in, Lord willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. Why, thank you, everybody. Drew Bledsoe will be the quarterback for the Patriots. Sonny Jurgensen will be the quarterback for the Commanders. We're using their current moniker that just changed about a month ago. The coin flip goes Washington's way. They will defer. They will be in the burgundy because we don't know if the colors of the Commanders are going to change from Redskins. Hobbs, Heron, and Garrett back deep for the Pats, and we're underway from the Washington suburbs. Hobbs, not a great return. Only 12 yards to the 10. Hamburger, who plays special teams, makes the tackle. For New England, their offense, Cunningham and Collins, 6 and 5 receivers out of the backfield. Welker and Randy Moss, 10 and a 9. Coates is a 7. Bledsoe is your quarterback. Gray a 10. Hanna a 10. Coppin an 8. Menkins a 9. And Armstrong a 9. First and 10. From the 10 will do Washington's defense in just a moment, barring something big happening. And Coates was the intended receiver. New England opted to throw on the first play. And incomplete. So Bledsoe will start 0 for 1 defensively. For Washington, it's Man and Manley, a 9 and 8 defenders. They are the DEs, the defensive ends. Butts and Talbert, both 8s. They are the defensive tackles. Your linebackers are Hamburger, a 10. Slavinsky at 8. He also plays offensive line, a two-way player. Arrington is an 8. Green is a 9. Bailey is an 8. Those are your corners. Houston and Taylor. Ken Houston and Sean Taylor, the late great Sean Taylor, a 10 and a 9. Are your safeties. 2nd and 10 at the 10. We'll do Washington's offense, New England's defense in just a little bit. Gain of 4 for Sam Bam Cunningham. And Hamburger makes the tackle. 3rd and 6 at the 14. Just getting underway here in the suburbs of D.C. The throw was a pass intended for Coates, but incomplete. Overthrew him. Houston could have been in position to make the pick, but he wasn't able to. So New England will punt. And they have a wind advantage that's less than 5 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour or less. Camarillo punted at 50. Crowder returned at 13 for Washington, so the net will be 37. Still having issues, so I am going slower, and I am drinking water as I do this game, which has me getting up and going to the bathroom every couple of hours when I sleep at night. Not good. A 1st and 10 for the Commanders at their own 49. Their offense. Davis and Bossler are each 3 receivers. Those are your running backs. Monk and Clark, a 10 and a 9. Those are your running backs. I control Washington, because I don't think I have said it yet. And the computer controls New England. Cooley is a 7. He's the tight end. Jurgensen, the quarterback. Jacoby a 9. Grimm a 10. House is a 9. Slavinsky is an 8. And Samuels is an 8. And that is your offensive line for the Commanders. We'll look for Davis here, off tackle left side. And that's a gain of 2. Brown on the tackle for New England. Let's go through their defense. McGinnis is a 9. Seymour is a 9. Those are the defensive ends. Wilfork a 9. Adams a 7. So those are your defensive tackles. So Washington could probably exploit the inside running game here, I would think. Jones a 9. Brown a 9. Tippett a 9. Those are your linebackers. Haynes a 9. Law a 9. McCourty a 9. And Malloy a 9. All 9s in the defensive backfield for the Patriots. 2nd and 8. If you're wondering where Tom Brady is, he's in the Tampa Bay Buccaneer HTFL team, as they had the highest. They had the worst record.
Offense number
last
56,
season.
10-yard penalty.
House called for holding, so I guess you could call that a house call. 2nd and 18, but not the house call we like to have here on the HTFL. A 2nd and 18 at the 41 for the Commanders. So they'll go 3 wide. And they'll look to Charlie Taylor, who comes in as a third wideout in the 3 wide receiver formation. And we don't know yet who New England has as the 5th DB. Medium hitch on 2nd and 18. And Taylor overthrown. It was Samuel, who was also a 9. 9s all around on that defensive backfield for the Patriots. 3rd and 18 at the 41. We'll go 4 wide. Bring in Ricky Sanders. And we'll look for the medium pass and go to Clark. A marker down. He's got it. It's going to be short of the first. Defense.
Number 85, 5-yard penalty.
So the penalty against Adams means Washington gets to run a third down play again. We'll go Cooley on the medium cross on 3rd and 13. And he's open, but they can't find him. Actually, Jurgensen threw that away. Samuel, who was the nickelback, is already hurt, and they say he will not return. So Fred Berrien comes in to replace him in the nickelback situations. LeBaron in the punt for Washington. Slight breeze in their face, and a good return here. He could go all the way. We'll see if he has, as the graphics do silly things. Yes, Troy Brown,
receiving team,
went all the way, but Tippett got called for an illegal block. Oh, and that's going to back the Patriots all the way back to their own 7. No score, 12:26 left opening period. And it's Bledsoe giving the ball to Cunningham, a gain of 1. That's the second carry for Cunningham today. He's up to 5 yards. Very early still, 12:20. Left to go, opening quarter. 2nd and 9 at the 8. It's Bledsoe looking for Ben Coates. Arrington limping off. He will not return. So each team has now lost a player to injury. So it's going to be Kerrigan coming in for the Commanders. You see him there out of Purdue, 2015. 3rd and 9. Ball at the 8. And it's going to be 3 and out for the Patriots, as that was a check down to Collins. Collins lost the ball, so it goes back to Washington on a punt, barring a turnover or a big play. And Crowder returns at 6. The punt went 48, a 42-yard net. So it's 1st and 10 for your Washington Commanders. No score, ball at midfield. Try to establish the running game with Stephen Davis. And that's a pickup of 5. Tippett drilling him for the tackle. And that's 2 carries, 7 yards for Davis. We'll go Bossler. Don Bossler. A sweep to the left side on 2nd and 5. Been one of the big fullbacks in the HTFL this season. He has come up. He doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he has had some key runs. And he runs it for 5. They look at, they bring in the chain gang and the Commanders just short of the 1st. Jurgensen will sneak it on 3rd and inches. And did he get it? Yes, he did. A gain of a yard. 9:46 left to go. And your score is still no score. Back to Davis. Off tackle, right side. And that's a gain of 3. Tippett on the tackle, which makes it 2nd and 7 at the 36. Coaching Washington, I like to run the ball. So that's what I'm doing here. Trap left Stephen Davis, 2nd and 7. If you've been watching these HTFL videos, I love running with the double tight end set. Just focus on the running game and just pound the innards of the defensive line into submission. But that didn't work that time, as Haynes made the tackle on Davis for no gain. So we'll open it up and put Taylor in. See where we can expose that 7 defensive back. And we'll try for Charlie Taylor again. Medium cross. 3rd and 7 from the 36. But again, Jurgensen could not find Taylor. Grimm will be out a few plays. So the line now, Jacoby, Farman, House, Levinsky, and Samuel. I think Farman is the substitute. 4th and 7. And kicking into the wind, the prospects for a field goal not good. We'll just pooch it with Eddie LeBaron. And that is going to be a touchback. New England gets their best field position of the game at the 20. So let's see what New England can do. 1st and 10 at the 20, halfway point through this game. First quarter, I beg your pardon. That was a long throw intended for Moss, deflected by Bailey. May have intercepted it. Hamburger may have intercepted it. I have a 62% odds that this would work, so let's try it.
The ruling on the field stands.
Not
incomplete.
To be.
A timeout will be charged.
So that is a loss of a timeout and the challenge for the remainder of the game for Washington. 2nd and 10 at the 20. And Bledsoe throwing again, and Welker had to play air traffic controller there as there was traffic in his area, and the pass fell incomplete, deflected by Hamburger. 3rd and 10 at the 20. 7:16 left to go opening quarter now. And Ben Coates making that catch, a gain of 11. 1st and 10 at the 31. So that was the first completion of the game for Drew Bledsoe, who has started 1 for 7 after 6 consecutive incompletions. And Cunningham loses a yard. Kerrigan makes the tackle. So he's proving to be an effective substitute for Arrington. 2nd and 11 at the 30. The give over the middle again. Bledsoe to Coates for 13. And Sean Taylor making the tackle, which is good news if you're not a Redskin, but a Patriot fan. It's so hard not to call the Washington team the Redskins because, you're used to it. 1st and 10 at the 43. Bledsoe now 2 of 8. 2 consecutive completions. Now 3 as he throws it to Cunningham. Hamburger on the stop, and that gained 8. 2nd and 2, so New England now winning the field position battle, but Collins played on that 85-86 team that the Patriots had that made it to their first Super Bowl. I'm drinking salt water and I'm spitting it out. That's what I'm doing. 3rd and 2 at the 49. And, of course, that Patriot team got beat by the Bears 46-10 in Super Bowl 20. Coates again. A nice grab. 9-yard gain. Sean Taylor on the tackle. And who would have thought in 1986 that the Patriots would be the dominant team the first 2 decades of the 21st century? 1st and 10 at the 40. Who knew? Incompletion. Bledsoe seems to have found the rhythm, but that was incomplete. He's 4 for 11 now. Cunningham gained 6 on 2nd and 10. Ran for 102 yards against Philadelphia in a game we recapped on our last edition on Friday. 3rd and 4 to 34. 2:39 left. 11th play of the drive coming up. I thought I hit CPU. Okay, now I did. And Bledsoe calls timeout. No score, 2 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. It's Bledsoe looking, and that's got to be
pass interference.
Defense.
Number 21, automatic. 1st down.
And that moves the ball to the 28. A 1st and 10 from there. 1:57 now left. Incomplete. Bledsoe was trying for Welker, and now Bledsoe after finding a rhythm, has lost his rhythm. 4 for 12, 41 yards, 2nd and 10. Bledsoe tried to find Moss that time. He wants interference, but he's not going to get it. Champ Bailey was all over him. 3rd and 10 at the 28. Can Bledsoe convert here? He does. Finds Welker. Gain of 11. And that was Welker's first catch. Answering my inner thoughts, was that his first catch? Yes, it was. 1st and 10 at the 17. 1:34 left to go. And Moss has a touchdown. Randy Moss. A 15-play, 80-yard drive capped off by that 17-yard throw. Bledsoe to Moss, and it's 6-0 Washington. Coming in 5-4, the Commanders are 6-3. The point after by Gostkowski was good. 7-0 with 46 seconds now left opening quarter. James, Signs, Williams are the defense. And with the wind at his back, Gostkowski kicks that into the end zone for a touchback. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 20. We'll go Davis, trap right in the base formation. He will pick up nothing. And that'll do it for the first quarter. We've played 15, New England 7, Washington nothing. And we're back. 2nd and 10, I beg your pardon. For the Commander, I nearly said Skins. For the Commanders, we'll go look for Gary Clark over the middle in the 3-wide set. That's incomplete. Jurgensen has started 0 for 4. Not good. So we'll put somebody in motion and look to Charlie Taylor. Washington hoping to exploit a mismatch, and Taylor with the catch, a gain of 17 if it stands.
Offsides, defense.
And it
Number
will stand.
85, 5-yard penalty.
Adams committed an offsides penalty, which would have given Washington another chance had they not completed the pass, but they did. And Jurgensen with his first completion. Davis, trap right on 1st and 10 from the 37. He will pick up 2. Jones on the stop for New England. 2nd and 8 at the 39. How about Art Monk on the cross? That was to Bossler, nailed by Brown, so he bobbled and lost the ball. Third and 8. The ball at the 39. How about Taylor on a medium out? Caught by Taylor for a gain of 13. More importantly, it's a first down. And they move into New England territory. 13:50 left to go till the halftime. Trap left Davis, 1st and 10. And Davis picks up 2. Davis is 9 for 20. And he's not 9 for 20. The team is. I beg your pardon. He has 7 carries for 14. But Washington cannot get that running game going. So we're going to go to our little spark plug here, Don Bossler. Sweep to the left side. He picks up just 1 before Brown gets to him. Brown having a good game. So back to 3rd and 7, and we'll look to Monk, a 10 receiver, medium hitch. No, incomplete. Eddie LeBaron coming in the punt. 4th and 7 at the New England 45. And couldn't quite turn it over. Turned the punt over. New England decided to let the punt roll. And it did to the 5-yard line. So New England gets it back, 11:31 left in the second period. We are at 7-0 in favor of New England. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 5, so they're back in jail again. Nice run by Tony Collins. He gained 15. Slavinsky making the stop. A 1st and 10 at the 20 with 11:20 to go. Collins up the middle for 6. Make that 5. Talbert will not return. So Griffin, I believe, comes in. Cornelius Griffin out of Alabama. I think we have featured him in a previous Washington game. 2nd and 5 at the 25. So I believe that's now 3 injuries that we have had where players have been knocked out of the game. And Collins gaining 2 butts making the tackle. 3rd and 3. The ball at the 27-yard line with 10:22 left till halftime. That's a completion to Ben Coates, a gain of 9. Coates has been the go-to guy for New England so far. 4 catches and 42 yards. A 1st and 10 at the 36. 9:41 to go. Again, Bledsoe throws, and that's the 17th pass he has had in not even a quarter and a half. Taylor jumped the route, batted it away. It falls incomplete. So Bledsoe putting the ball up quite frequently. In comparison, Sonny Jurgensen is 2 for 8. 2nd and 10 at the 36. The pass, and that's Randy Moss weaving his way for a 22-yard gain. Bailey was the first to get to him to push him out. And Randy Moss with 2 catches for 39 yards. He had the touchdown earlier. 1st and 10 at the 42. Bledsoe was looking for Moss again, but Moss dropped that, his 2nd drop of the day. Say our analytical people. 2nd and 10 at the 42. It's Bledsoe looking for Welker, incomplete. A 3rd and 10 at the 42. And Bledsoe throws to Welker, but he can't hang on. 4th and 10. We'll watch for the fake punt here. Camarillo was legit in his punting efforts. Out of bounds at the 9. The punt went 33, but he did his job getting Washington inside their own 10. Bossler on a dive. We're going to mix this up. 1st and 10. And Bossler straight ahead for 4 yards. Jones on the tackle for New England. 7:45 left to go till halftime. Always try to keep you up to date on the time of the game. Screen to Davis on 2nd and 6. And that was well covered by the Patriots. Incomplete. 3rd and 8 at the 13. We'll look to Taylor, who has had a good game so far, medium hitch. And he's got it. The sure-handed one, a 15-yard gain. Jurgensen last week, 24 for 34, 353 against the Baltimore Ravens. 1st and 10 at the 28. Taylor has all 3 catches that were completions for Jurgensen. 1st and 10 at the 28. And we're going to keep feeding the ball to Bossler, who gains 2 there. Haynes making the tackle, coming up from the defensive backfield, lowered the boom on him. 2nd and 8 at the 30. Cooley, we'll try Chris Cooley on a medium crossing route in the 3-wide set. I think that was the 3-wide set. It was, but that also falls incomplete. Whenever they go to somebody but Charlie Taylor, they have trouble. So we'll go back to Taylor. Medium crossing route. And this might work because New England's playing short and tight in a 4-2 nickel. Oh, but Taylor dropped that, and again, the Commanders have been stymied. 5:23 left, and Eddie LeBaron will come on to punt. Wind at his back. Looked like a good punt. Looking at the animation, it went 48. Brown with an 8-yard return. We thought he had an electrifying punt return for a touchdown earlier, but it got called back by a penalty. 5:17 left in the half. 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Patriots. And this is a pitch to Cunningham. Slavinsky makes a super play. A loss of 4 yards. 2nd and 14 at the 26 with 5:09 to go. Bledsoe throws to Randy Moss. He gains 6. Bailey on the tackle. Moss is at 3 catches now for 45. 3rd and 8 at the 32. 4:32 left to go. And this time it's Ben Coates again. 13 yards. Kenny Houston shoving him out of bounds. Bledsoe now up to 10 for 23 for 119 and a touch. And Coates now has 5 catches on the game. 1st and 10 at the 45 of New England. And Cunningham for a 9-yard gain. And it's going to stick.
Number 72, 5-yard penalty.
With Manley called for an offsides. 2nd and 1. Ball at the Washington 46 now. 3:03 left till half. Bledsoe, a little dink pass to Cunningham, and it worked nicely. A gain of 4. No, I didn't want to call timeout. let New England burn theirs. 1st and 10 at the Commanders' 42. And that's a nice throw to Welker, a gain of 10. And we'll go to the 2-minute warning with the score 7-0 in favor of New England. Hope you all are doing well this March 7th of 2022. And it's 1st and 10 New England at the 32. 2 minutes to go. Screen, Collins. And did he get the first? No, he got 9. Slavinsky made the tackle for the Commanders. Beg your pardon. And the clock runs with 1:50 to go. New England playing this coolly and calmly. That's an incompletion looking for Welker. 9th play of the drive coming up on 3rd and 1. And that is Collins gaining a yard, but he is short. So they'll bring in Gostkowski for a 4th and inches at the 22. I got to watch for a fake here. Gostkowski kicks it, but he pulled it wide right. No good. So the Commanders get a last crack at it with 1:10 left and 2 of their timeouts. Remember, they failed on a challenge. So they're down a timeout. We'll go medium fly route to Charlie Taylor, who's been the go-to guy. Oh, and that fell off his hands. Another drop for Taylor. His 2nd of the day. 2nd and 10 at the 29. Let's go Cooley. Medium hitch. We'll go Cooley to Cooley. We're going to stick with the play. Can't find Cooley. He threw that into traffic. Sonny Jurgensen did. 3rd and 10. The ball at the 29. Washington's passing game has been anemic outside of Charlie Taylor, who is the third wideout. Medium out to Monk on 3rd. That's it.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 59.
Washington's going to get new life.
5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
1st and 10 at the 34. We're down to 55 seconds to go. How about Clark on a medium slant? We have 2 timeouts. We can burn 1. And finally, somebody catches a pass outside of Clark. That's his first catch. We'll call timeout. We'll have 48 seconds to go. And now, Jurgensen's going to have to throw a lot of out routes. And we'll start with Taylor. 1st and 10 from midfield. And the throw is off the mark, incomplete. Jurgensen is now 4 for 16. Really having a bad day. 2nd and 10 at the 50s. At the 50. It's not Canadian football. There's only one 50-yard line. Hitch to Monk. And Monk might take that to the house, and he does. And just like that, we are a point away from a tie. Art Monk with the house call. Touchdown, Commanders. It's 7-6. They'll go for the 1-point extra point, which they get. Aguirre putting that through. 7-7. I have a guy just for extra points because we play with 100-man rosters. And we just spread it out. And with 30 seconds to go, we're going to kick at an angle. Taken by Heron. Looked like he took it around the 5. He did. Smoot made the tackle. A 20-yard return. So we're down now to 20 seconds left to go to half. And let's see what New England decides to do. They just run it into the line with Collins. A gain of 2. And that might do it for the first half. No, they run one more play. Cunningham, a gain of 4. Now we are at the half. And your score is 7-7. I will be right back in 15 minutes. No. 15 seconds. I wouldn't leave you for 15 minutes. I don't have a commercial that long. Stand by. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. Big Pauly back with you for our third quarter. Game 46 of 105 here on the HTFL. It's a 7-7 tie. New England has run 40 plays, 186 yards. Washington 29 for $138. 27 of New England's 40 plays have been passes. Washington has had 17 of their plays also were passes out of 29. And Washington gets the ball to start half number 2. Remember, they won the toss and deferred. James, Signs, and Williams back deep. And that's going to be a touchback. So move the ball out to the 20, and we're going to try with that running game, although it hasn't really worked for the Commanders. 12 carries, 27 yards as a team. So we'll go to Bossler, off tackle, right side. And Bossler grinds for a couple of yards. Seymour made the tackle for the Pats. 2nd down and 8. We'll look to pitch right to Davis. 2nd and 8. And this is a big gain for Davis, a gain of 10. Haynes making the tackle for the Pats. And Davis up to 24 yards on 8 carries. Bossler, 5 for 14. And we'll go back to Bossler on a dive, 2nd and 5. Looked like New England had 8 in the box there. A gain of 3 for Bossler. Seymour on the tackle. And Washington wants to attack Julius Adams. So we'll do that here. Trap left. And Davis picking up 4, setting up 3rd and 3. Well, you could do a few things. We're going to go play action short pass. And we are going to look to Jerry Smith, who comes in as the 2nd tight end, who I haven't acknowledged yet. Incomplete.
Encroachment, defense.
But they're going to pick up the first.
Number 75, 5-yard penalty.
Vince Wilfork with the encroachment. Jerry Smith is an interesting story that you could Google him or you could look it up on Wikipedia. I really don't want to go into it here. I know they have talked in recent times about who was the first openly LGBT player in the NFL, and from what I remember reading Howard Cosell's last book, What's Wrong with Sports, in 1990, came out in 90, I think I read it in 91, that, you know, back in the 70s when Jerry Smith played, he didn't come out of the closet, but everybody seemed to know that he was LGBT. Off tackle right, Stephen Davis. So we've had a couple of instances in the NFL where, players have come out and said that they are part of the LGBT community, and I always say, look at Jerry Smith. 2nd and 7 at the 47. We're not all built the same genetically, and I respect those who play football. Pitch right to Stephen Davis on 2nd and 3, who can live with that. And, of course, in the olden days, there was quite a stigma with coming out of the closet. Gain of 11. Andre Tippett on the tackle. Davis is now up to 11 carries, 42 yards. So Washington pounding the rock, and they're going to keep doing it. Trap left. Stephen Davis, 1st and 10. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2 at the 34. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more gay athletes in Major League Sports in North America than you think there were. Just put it that way. I'm straight. I have nothing to what's the word here? I got no dog in the hunt. Davis on a dive, 1-yard gain. Brown making the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and a yard at the 33. We're going to sneak Jurgensen over again. See if that works. And it's just short. 4 inches. So we'll think for a moment. 4 inches to 32. What to do? The field goal is a 56% chance. Dustin Hopkins coming on, and we'll try one from 50, and that is good. They'll say it was a 49-yard kick, and it's 10-7 in favor of the Commanders. Hobbs, Heron, and Garrett are back for New England. That's a touchback. Get it on the 20. You see how nice I am? I talk about things I don't want to talk about on these streams. So you get it out of me. First and 10 at the 20. And that's a give to Cunningham, a gain of 3. Man making the tackles. Making the tackle. Probably made a few other tackles in this game. 2nd and 7. The ball at the 23. It's Bledsoe finding Welker a first down. Just barely, but it will count. 1st and 10 at the 30. I'm going to pause for a moment. Back in the 90s and aughts, there was a talk show host out of Miami. His name was Neil Rogers. 1st and 10 at the 30, and that's going to be a give to Collins. Gain of 3. And he was syndicated over here in Tampa. And he did a talk show that was meant to be entertaining and not political. 2nd and 7 at the 33. It took me a couple of years to figure out that he was gay. 3rd and 4 to 36. But I liked the show, and I knew he was a sports fan, and I know he liked the Cubs, and I know he liked the Dolphins, and you know, it didn't really cross my mind, and I really didn't think of it. And for 3rd and 4 to 36, and when I found out, I kept listening because he was a very, very entertaining talk show host. That was a gain of 8 to Coates. Houston brings Coates down on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 44. And he's on YouTube, by the way. Just type Neil Rogers into YouTube. A good talk show host. Probably one of the best that I have ever heard at it. So now 1st and 10 at the 44. And Moss and Bass have a wrestling match. They rule it incomplete. It looked like Bass had the pick, but he didn't. 2nd and 10 at the 44. And that is Cunningham with a big play, 43 yards. Slavinsky finally caught up to him from behind, and Bledsoe has now crossed the 500 mark on his throws. He's 16 of 31 for 200. That was a 43-yard pickup, and the Patriots are back in business. 1st and 10 in the red zone at the 13. That is a give to Cunningham. He picked up 5 yards. 2nd and 5 at the 8. So I really don't care who's gay and who's not, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Bledsoe to Coates, gain of 3. It's like Al Red Sox fan. He says all the time, treat people the way that you would want to be treated. And that's kind of how I live my life. And I lived my life long before I met Al. I try to treat people with respect at all times. 3rd and 2 at 5. As one of my high school friends says, you're so polite. You've always been so polite. Bledsoe threw the Coates there, and that's an incompletion. So we're looking at a tie game with 2:45 left to go unless Gostkowski pulls this one, but he does not. 22-yard kick as I stumble over my words. And we're tied at 10-10. James back deep for the Redskins. This has been a good defensive battle. And the Redskins get it back, and they're making success running the ball, so we're going to have to stick with that. Here's Bossler, and that's a gain of 2 to make it 2nd and 8. And I think people should be treated with respect, no matter their persuasion, color, creed, nationality. He crossed the Monk on 2nd and 8. He had that one catch for 50. Earlier, that's an incompletion.
Holding offense.
But
number
they
60.
get Samuels for holding.
Penalty.
And it's 2nd and 18. If everybody just did that in life, to treat people the way you'd want to be treated, the world would be a much better place. Davis on the screen, 2nd and 18. Just try to chop the wood down a little bit. That's a gain of 4. Brown on the tackle, and it's 3rd and 14. We'll go Charlie Taylor over the middle on a medium slant. Incomplete. 4th and 14 at the 16. By the way, Al Red Sox fan did a couple of chats. He did one Thursday. He did one Saturday. I've been watching both when I'm not doing these games. Eddie LeBaron punting deep. A 10-10 tie, a minute to go. He did a chat with Anthony Crooks and somebody whose name escapes me at the moment. Sorry, Al, on Thursday night. And he did a chat with the audience on Saturday night. They were both good. I recommend them to you. 1st and 10 at the 38. It's Bledsoe finding Wes Welker, a gain of 13. And that's going to bring up another 1st and 10 at the 49. We are down to the waning seconds of quarter number 3. Collins, a gain of 5. Slavinsky on the stop, and that does it for quarter number 3. We are tied 10-10. I'm going to pause for just a moment. Sorry you have to hear that, folks, but I don't have I have a cough button on this USB headset, but it's like way up on the earpiece. Not really convenient to get to. 52 plays, 279 yards for New England, 35 of those plays passes. 42 plays, 187 for Washington. They have run the ball 22 times and thrown it 19. So let's get ready for quarter number 4. 2nd and 5 at the Commander 44. I didn't know that rhymed. Well, when you say 4 twice, it does. Cunningham loses a yard. Kerrigan on the tackle. 3rd and 6 at the 45. And it's Bledsoe giving it to Collins, who tried to draw play there on a 3rd and 6 at gain 3. Kevin Bass making the stop. And we'll watch for the fake here on the punt. Both teams playing field position. And Camarillo with a very nice punt. It's out at the 3. So the Commanders take over, 13:26 left in regulation. We had a classic game, if you like good defensive struggles, last Monday, between the Bills and the Steelers that went overtime. Could we be seeing another one here? Trap left, Stephen Davis, 1st and 10 from the 3, and we won't see the animation on that. I wish they would fix that bug. It's been on the last 2 editions of Action PC Football. Gain of 2 for Davis. Wilfork making the stop. But we're going to keep trying to plug the holes here. Off tackle right, Bossler, 2nd and 8. And Bossler with a nice gain of 12 if it stands.
Encroachment defense.
And it will.
Number 92, 5-yard penalty.
Seymour called for encroachment. He jumped the line snap. So it's now 1st and 10 at the 17. Where is my mouse? There it is. Back to Bossler on a dive. 1st and 10 at the 17, which I already told you. Gain of 2, Seymour making the stop. 2nd and 8 at the 19. Cooley will go to him on a short cross. He caught it somehow, but McCourty stripped them of the ball. Brown took over, pounced on it, and my, oh my, the Patriots with good field position at the not the Skins, but the Commanders, 25. Old habits are hard to break. 11:37 left. It's a 1st and 10 for Bledsoe and company. The give to Cunningham, and very wisely, New England running the ball here. Tackled by Bass. 2nd and 4 at the 19. The give is to Collins, a gain of 3. Griffin on the stop. Third in the yard, ball at the 16. This could be a crucial play in this game. Collins with the first and a little more. Houston made a pancake tackle. 4-yard gain. It's now first and goal at the 12. 10 minutes left to go. Gain of a yard. Cunningham with the handoff. Off tackle right. Spun down by Griffin. A lot of runs here in this possession by New England, but it's the wise thing to do. Try to chew up as much clock as possible. Cunningham again, 3-yard gain. Slavinsky makes the stop. 8:38 now left in regulation. A 10-10 tie. 3rd and 6 at the 8. It's Bledsoe looking, but
pass
an
interference,
incompletion,
defense. Number 16, automatic, first down.
Washington's going to help Bledsoe out as Slavinsky is called for pass interference. So give New England a new set of downs. Now they're at the 4. 8:05 left to go. Unless we go to OT. And Bledsoe goes up top to Collins, incomplete. Went to the far left side. And it was incomplete. Bledsoe is now 19 of 36, 221 yards. Collins and Cunningham each with over 10 carries. Collins has 10 for 38. Cunningham 14 for 39. Second and goal at the 4. Collins into the line. Hamburger making the stop for no gain. Crowd into the game at FedEx Field, chanting defense, defense, defense. They want to hold New England to a field goal. 3rd and goal at the 4. Bledsoe looking to throw, and Collins has a touchdown. Tony Collins makes it a 16-10 game. 7:13 left to go. Kick is good by Gostkowski to make it 17-10. And James back deep now for the Commanders. And Gostkowski kicked that to the Atlantic Ocean for a touchback. First and 10 for the Commanders, who trail 17-10. They need a touchdown, naturally, to get back in the game. We're going to screen it to Davis, Stephen Davis. And he gets 9.
Defense, number 85, 5-yard penalty.
Adams commits another encroachment call, so we'll wave that back. No, actually, we declined it. Okay, I meant to hit accept, but I couldn't transmit that. Okay, 2nd and 1 at the 29. Brain was thinking something, and the hand was doing something else. How many times in my life I heard that? Play action bomb to Gary Clark on 2nd and a yard. There it goes. And Clark has it. House call, touchdown, Washington. That play took 71 yards and was the longest catch Clark has had this season. It's 17-16. Very critical extra point here by Aguirre, and he nails it. We're at 17 all with 6:38 left to go in regulation. But with Washington scoring so quickly, will that give New England a chance to run roughshod over the Commanders' defense that was tired after that last possession in which New England scored? That return was somebody for 27 yards to the 26. Owens made the tackle. And if you saw who made that kick return, you're better than I am, apparently. 1st and 10 at the 26. It's Bledsoe looking to Welker. Double covered. Green could have had a pick, but he didn't come up with it. 2nd and 10 at the 26. Bledsoe 20 for 38 now. Screen to Cunningham, but a little too long. That's incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 26, and the crowd getting into it again with chance of defense and so forth. Bledsoe. Oh, Cunningham had that in his hands. He bobbled it. Incomplete, and now the Pats have to punt. Camarillo standing behind his own 15. Crowder with the return, but he fumbled it. Mankins gets it back for the Pats, and they have a 1st and 10 at the 47 of Washington. A big break for New England there with the score tied at 17. And that is a give to Cunningham, picking up 5. Slavinsky on the stop. 2nd and 5. The ball at the 42. 5:53 to go. Cunningham will have a 1st down. The Patriots with new life. And that defense for Washington, it's already been on the field for 30 minutes with 5 to play. Must be getting dog-tired by now. 1st and 10 at the 36. It's Bledsoe back, and he's sacked by Mann. Charles Mann, who had 3 tackles against Baltimore with a huge sack. It's now a 2nd and 20 at the 46. Bledsoe back to throw, and of course he's going to throw here. Cunningham with another big play. 10-5 down to the 3. So a couple of big plays for Sam Bam Cunningham. He's now at 5 catches for 104. More importantly, New England is at the 3 of the Commanders. 1st and goal from there. Knocking on the door. And Moss has the 2nd touchdown of the day. Touchdown, New England. That was the 4th catch for 48 yards total. That from 3 yards out. Gostkowski with the point after, I think. He got it. 24-17, and Washington running out of tomorrow's. 2:50 left to go. James back deep. And a touchback. Washington has to go into the wind, but the wind very light. We'll slant it to Pauly on 1st down. He's open, and he makes a grab and a little bit of a run there. 18 yards and a 1st down. We're going to go Davis on the screen on 1st and 10 from the 38. He's got it, and that's a pickup of 6, and we're at the 2-minute warning. Jurgensen, 11 for 24, 228. That was the 3rd catch for Davis. With 1:57 left, each team with a full complement of timeouts. Washington does not have their challenge, but it doesn't matter now. Medium fly to Art Monk, 2nd and 4. Completed to Taylor, a gain of 7. We'll hurry up. And we'll screen it to Charlie Taylor on 1st and 10. Wide receiver screen. And
Illegal
Taylor picks
motion.
up a yard,
Offense,
but
number 47, 5-yard penalty.
Cooley with a legal motion to set up a 1st and 15. So danger here for the Commanders. How about Monk over the middle, a medium slant? He's got it. Gets the 1st down, too, and we'll call a timeout. 1:18 to go. And Washington needs a score. The major score, as they say in Canadian football. 1st and 10 at the 39. We're going to screen it to Davis because I don't think Washington would be expecting that. There it is, but it's not for... In fact, he lost a couple of yards. Washington will hurry. Medium pass. We'll go to Taylor on 2nd and 12. Taylor could not come up with that one. Swatted away by Marion, Fred Marion. 3rd and 12. We'll go to the medium out to Taylor. He's got it. And did he get out of bounds? Yes. A 16-yard gain. 35 seconds to go. And the Commanders still with 2 timeouts. So I'm going to go Cooley on the long slant over the middle and hope it goes for a touch. And no. Pauly could not hold on to that one. 2nd and 10. We're down to 27 seconds. How about a slant over the middle here to Art Monk? We'll play the middle of the field with the 2 timeouts. He makes the grab. A gain of 13. 19 seconds to go. And we'll call timeout. We are down to 1. 1st and 10 at the 12. We did a game season 1 where the Redskins had to get a touchdown to tie late. I think it was like the early weeks of the season. Hitch to Monk with 19 seconds to go. And incompletion. We're down to 11. 2nd and 10. We're going to sweep it to the right with Jurgensen. And hope he comes up with a play. We still got 1 timeout. Oh, he's stuffed. No gain. 4 seconds left. And this will be it. This will be the play of the game. 4 seconds to go. Washington needing a touchdown. Like I said, I thought we were here season 1. And off we go. We'll go 5 wide, which brings in Sanders and Charlie Brown. It's going to be a medium pass. Quarterback must pass. And since Taylor has been hot the whole game, 5 catches for 68, we're going to go to Monk. So this is it. Monk has it, and he's got a touchdown. And the Commanders a point away from the tie with no time left. Oh, doctor. Extra point try to tie the game by Aguirre is good, and we will go to overtime at 24-all. And here we go with our overtime period. We use the traditional NFL rules. Washington won the toss, will receive. James is back deep. These are the rules prior to, I would say, like 2010 or so, where we play 1 15-minute period. The first team that scores wins. And if nobody scores, we have a tie game, which has never happened before in the HTFL. And we're going to go back to running the ball. Stephen Davis trapped right. And Davis broke loose there. A tackle by Jones, a gain of 7. 2nd and 3. The ball at the 27. Worked so well the last time. Let's try it again. Play action bomb to Monk and try to send everybody home right here and now. Incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. Automatic.
But a huge penalty there. Ty Law got called for the pass interference. It's now a 1st and 10 at the 30. Right now, Washington has a 50% chance of hitting the field goal to win the game. We'll run it a couple of times, at least. Davis picks up 2. Tippett on the stop. Odds now go up to 52. I'd like them to be a little better. We'll go screen to Bossler on 2nd and 8. He's got it, and that's a gain of 3. The odds are 55%. We'll go 3 wide, and we'll look to Pauly. Short slant route, 3rd and 5. That's incomplete, so we're going to have to kick it now. Dustin Hopkins could be the hero here. A 42-yarder to win the game. And the Commanders have won it. 27-24. Second Monday in a row we've had an overtime game. MVP was Sonny Jurgensen. And that 12-yard pass to Art Monk tied it on the last play of the game. So history repeating, as Shirley Bassey and the Propeller Heads would say, back in the late 90s when that movie There's Something About Mary came out with Cameron Diaz. Oh, she a looker. She still is a looker. And there is your scoring summary. Summary: the Commanders only made one trip to the red zone. They scored off of it, and they won the game. Amazing. Player stats. Jurgensen did have the better game, 18 of 35, 292, no picks, 3 touchdowns. Davis was the leading rusher, 16 for 62. Coates caught more passes than anybody else, 7, but Cunningham had the best yardage day, 5 for 104. Leading tackler was Brown for the Patriots with 8. So again, Washington 27 and New England 24 in overtime. And what's our next game, pray tell? That's going to be Detroit at Cincinnati. Cincinnati 6-3, Detroit 5-4. And that should be an interesting one with Kenny Anderson and Barry Sanders being the offensive charges for both teams. Hope you enjoyed today's game. I think it ran a little long, but I did it in pieces because I had to get up and do some things with this happening. Hope you are all well, and we will bid you adieu until tomorrow, Lord willing, if the creek doesn't rise. This has been Big Pauly coming to you, wishing you well, Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon, and bye-bye for now, everybody.